So I want to make a video requested by Ruby Hooping for the hip reels. There's a lot of different ways to do hip reels. I thought there was only one way, but then I started messing around and realized, gosh, there's a million different ways, and that's the fun part about it because I use this move to connect everything, okay? Behind the back waist straps, front waist straps, meltdowns, anything, isolations. So you really should learn this to really connect and have fun with it. Now I'm going to do my best to explain this thoroughly with keeping the video short, but I have a feeling this is going to be a long one. So with no further ado, let's jump right in. We're going to start with one hand. We're going to start with the tough one, and that is the pinky lead hip reel. Before we start, I want you to think about a windmill, okay? Think about what your hand is doing. If you wanted to, you could do a windmill with just your thumb and your pointer finger in a circle, like the OK hand sign. So just focus, your hand or your wrist is doing a small figure 8 while the hoop is making a big figure 8 in front of your head, and behind your head, your hand and your hoop goes. So that is sort of what this pinky lead hip reel is doing. Now a lot of people think that it is that you're doing a weave, and you're not. See how the weave, the hoop is vertical? We want the hoop, we don't want the hoop like this. We want the hoop from front to back, not side to side, okay? So with that being said, Hooping Mad calls this the penguin, and this is where a lot of people have trouble because you make a weird penguin shape with your hand while your elbow is pushed in front of you. Now I just want to say that I will be saying a lot of stuff in this tutorial, and if you're having trouble with anything, go back and listen to every point that I make, and maybe somewhere you'll have that eureka moment where you'll get it, okay? So just remember, I'm going to try to say as much as I can. So with that being said, think of the windmill, okay? Now, I'm going to have the hoop and an inside grip, okay? And it's going to be led by the pinky the whole time, okay? I'm going to bring the hoop leading with the pinky behind my back, so I'm dropping it behind my back. Now from here, I'm going to push the hoop up, okay? Try pushing it up even with your pointer finger. So now you're here. I can't go any further. Now if you notice what my hand is doing, it's doing the penguin that Hooping Mad talks about. Now from here, what you're going to do is you're going to sort of angle the hoop so that it's so you're pushing it down like this, okay? And then when it's in front of you, your elbow is still in front of you in a funky way. You're going to bring it back up, leading with the pinky to do it again. So it's very uncomfortable when you first start, but eventually you will get it. I mean, I had such achiness in my wrists when I learned this, okay? So led with the pinky, I am bringing the hoop behind me. I'm dropping it behind me. Then I'm using my hand, my fingers, to push the hoop up, okay? And from here is the tough part. This is when you sort of pull your hand away from your back and push the hoop down. You're still leading with the pinky, okay? Leading with the pinky, you're pushing the hoop down. And then from here, you're going to make a little figure 8 circle to finish it, okay? So you're making an 8. You're making the top of the top of the 8 in front of you and the bottom of the 8 behind you, okay? Now, if this still is hard for you to do, try doing it with just your thumb and pointer finger in the OK grip, okay? Try doing a very loose grip so that it's all jiggly in that circle that you're holding the hoop in, okay? And try making that figure 8 with the hoop. So leading with the pinky finger, bringing the hoop behind you, bringing the hoop up, pushing the hoop in front of you, still with that weird, when you're pushing it in front of you, you still have the weird penguin hand and the elbow uncomfortably in front of you. Then when the hoop gets down, make the top of the circle of the 8 by bringing the hoop up and then bringing it back again, okay? Now if this figure 8, you still can't get it, try, instead of it being close to your hip, try doing it further out, okay? Or do the windmill and feel that weird wrist motion of the 8 being made. You're making it figure 8, and try that behind you, okay? Now I wanted to talk about this first, the pinky lead one, because this is the hardest one, folks, okay? Is this weird penguin motion. So you're leading with your pinky. It is easy to drop it. It's easy to use your pointer finger to push it up, okay? But from here, this is where people have a lot of trouble. So then you're gonna drop it in front of you. You're still in the weird elbow and penguin, weird Frankenstein hand. You're going to lead with your pinky, weave it up to make the top of the figure 8, and now you're back to weaving it behind you. Now when you slow this down, it is just very tough to do. So keep it quick and keep it a loose grip. When you get more comfortable with it, you will not feel that Frankenstein hand. Try doing it on your dominant hand. If you can't do it, try it on your non-dominant hand, okay? So once I get better at this, the Frankenstein elbow thing ends up being smaller. So my elbow isn't all the way in the front when I'm done weaving. I'm sort of keeping it nice and smooth. So that is the pinky lead hip reel. And I know it's tough. If you cannot get that, go back, like I said, to all the points. And if you still cannot get it, just remember, practice makes perfect. Your wrist doesn't usually do this motion, so you probably are going to need a lot of practice. But if you still cannot get it after time and time of drilling, then let's try a different way. So let's try leading with the pointer finger, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have an inside grip. My wrist is going to be facing you, and I will be leading with my pointer finger the whole time. This might be a little bit easier for some of y'all. I'm going to drop the hoop in front of me, drag the hoop behind me. Now if you notice, just like the pinky finger lead, I have my elbow pushed out, but to the back instead of the front, and I have that weird penguin hand, but it's in the back rather than the front, okay? So push the hoop down, drag it behind you. Now you're going to lift it up, okay? So you're going to make the bottom of the figure 8 circle by lifting the hoop up. So use your pinky and your fingers to push the hoop up behind your back. Okay, so it looks like this, okay? Now from here, you're just going to let the hoop drop and bring it back in front of you to do it again. So it's a lot simpler because what you're doing behind your back isn't as tough. So you're bringing the hoop down, bringing the hoop up, bringing the hoop down, and you are making a figure 8, okay? Now if you stop in the middle of this and you are doing something like a weave, you are doing it wrong, because if you notice when I'm doing a weave, I don't do that weird penguin hand in a weave, do I? So make sure that you're doing this correct when led by pointer finger. Drop the hoop behind, push the hoop up, drop the hoop down, and now you're back to start. So just like the pinky lead one, if you cannot get this, remember, quickness is important. Doing it slow is not easy because your wrists are doing something so fast that your hoops can't keep up with. So try it with an okay grip, okay, real loose. When it's looser, it's easier to bring the hoop up behind your back like that, okay? Or try bringing it out more. There goes my hoop. Grab this one. I want to show you from behind what the pointer lead hip reel looks like. So when I come up like this and I have to drop the hoop down, sometimes when I'm going fast, I'll use my thumb just to push it down, and that helps as well. So I know this video is very long now, but I'm going to mess around with some different varieties just so you could see how many different varieties there are. Now, let's say that you cannot get this pinky lead one. Well, you could do both hip reels led by the pointer finger, okay? But it has to be in split time, which means one's in front while one's in the back. And this is what split time forward hip reels look like. So try that. You could also do both pinky lead, but as well, they would have to be split time. They'd have to be split time. I just tried doing it, and so one's in front, one's in back. So this is a reverse hip reel split time, okay? But the most normal one that I usually do is my right dominant hand is doing a pinky lead split hip reel, while my left hand is doing a pointer finger lead, okay? So they're sort of chasing each other. So you could do same time or split time with this. And this is just what usually a hip reel looks like, is this one. That's usually what people are doing, in my opinion. Also, you could do the opposite, because it's always good when you're doing twins to practice the opposite. So my left hand's going to be led with the pinky, and my right hand's going to be led with the pointer. This is the split time of that. And this is the same time. Slow, fast. So sky's really the limit, guys. I've been messing around with like same time into isolations, split time into isolations, which I haven't gotten down yet. But yeah, that's the hip reel, guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I wanted to do the best I could without making this video 20 minutes long, which it probably already is. So please feel free to leave a comment in the comment box. Also, if you want to learn anything, feel free to tag me on Instagram or follow me on Instagram at Miss Maynard Keenan. I will leave my name in the description box, or leave a comment on one of my videos. I will find out and I will make the video, okay? Just remember for this, guys, it is not a weave that we're doing. It is a hip reel, okay? So it's something different. So unfortunately, if you think that you're getting it with a weave, it's just not going to be the actual trick, and you want to learn the trick, you know? So, yeah, with that being said, have a great day, guys. Peace, God bless, and happy hooping. Mwah.